Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Krishna. They know everything. They know. No, they know every time I'm giving class, but they don't want to hear. They are very busy and Seva, no. I have time for Damodar Maharaj. Brhad Bhagavatamrita. Today may be last. There are Siddha Purushas, no need. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasana. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Ramo. First of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupati Dandi Swami Sivaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, also our Rupanuga Guru Parampara, all Vaisnavas and Vaishnavas, Dandavats. So we're continuing Brhad Bhagavatamrita. So maybe today will be final day. So when Satyabhama heard the glories of the Brajavasis from the mouth, especially from Rukmini, as well as Devaki, and she became in man, she developed like jealousy of the gopis and went to their room. When Krishna could understand that Satyabhama is jealous, then Krishna became very angry. And he ordered the maidservants of Satyabhama, you bring that foolish daughter of Satyajit. So when Satyabhama heard this, she became very afraid, because in Vedic culture, when, of course, there is no divorce, but if the wife is rejected or she rejects the husband, then where she goes? She goes back to the father's place. So Krishna is so much angry, he mentioned the name of her father. So Satyabhama came and Krishna began, out of anger, anger at Satyabhama, this is a chance for the glories of the Brajavasis to manifest directly from the mouth of Sri Krishna. So Krishna said, "O foolish woman, if I thought it to be in the interest of the Brajavasis, I would renounce all of you residents of Dwarka in a second. But because I know that if I go there, I cannot give them happiness by returning to Braj for even a short time. For that reason, I do not go." All these things we explained last week. Why Krishna not return to Braj? So Krishna was then described, actually the only reason that I married you queens of Dwarka is because you had your faces, everything, a little bit like the Brajagopis. Some similarity was there. And Rukmini had also threatened to give up her life if she could not attain me. She sent that letter through one Brahmin. That story is there, that Rukmini's father, out of pressure from his oldest son, and even though he wanted to bequeath his daughter in marriage to Sri Krishna, he instead was forced to offer Rukmini to the demon Shishupal. Rukmini was in great distress, therefore she wrote one letter. I think 11 verses are there, one love letter, and she gave in the hand of one Brahmin. That Brahmin returned, went to Dwarka. When Krishna saw that Brahmin, Krishna did pranams. Krishna respected him, welcomed him so much, then asked, "O Brahmin, you must have come here with some cause. Therefore, if you think it's appropriate, please tell me why you have come here." So at that time, that Brahmin read or gave that letter to Krishna, and Rukmini expressed her heart, "O Krishna, what is meant for the lion should not be offered to the dog. In the same way I am meant only for you, because you are equal only to yourself in terms of name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Therefore, if I cannot attain you, then I will give up this body hundreds of times through austerities until I attain you." So Krishna explained, because this came through through the hand of a Brahmin, and Krishna did not want to displease the Brahmin, and also because Rukmini had threatened suicide. For that reason, Krishna decided to accept her hand in marriage. It's Krishna indicating, I not did out of love for the queens of Dwarka, but out of sense of duty. Can't be true also because Krishna he is Atmaram, self-satisfied. So Krishna does not need anyone or anything for his pleasure. So according to Tattvasiddhanta, that may also be true. So Krishna said, when I heard the news from the lips of the Brahmana, I went there to, I think the name was Kishkin, the capital of where Rukmini was living. At that time, the thousands of kings had gathered in competition for Rukmini's hand. She was so much attractive. So Rukmini had also indicated in the letter, when I come outside, that you may wonder, Krishna, how you may kidnap me without killing my family members. So it's a tradition in our family, before marriage, the girl goes to pray to Devi. Devi here we understand means Yogamaya, who fulfills the desires of everyone. So when Rukmini offered prayers, that time all the residents of Kishkind were also praying on behalf of Rukmini. They prayed, "O Bhagavan, if we have any security, we give all our security to Rukmini, that she may attain the hand of Krishna, and no one else, no one else, no one else." On one side, Rukmini was praying. All the residents of the city were also praying. So Yogamaya, she answered in the affirmative. So Rukmini knew that Krishna would accept her, therefore very blissfully when she came out of the temple, she exhibited her full beauty for the pleasure of Krishna only. But those kings were all demonic because they were opposed to the service of Krishna. They wanted means if you want your own enjoyment, then you are opposed to the service of Krishna. So when they saw the beauty of Rukmini, her thin waist, her budding breasts, her teeth which were like pearls, her lips were like pomegranates, her eyes were like lotus. And why not? Because she is the Swarup Shakti of Dwarkadish Krishna. So when the queen saw her beauty, instead of thinking Rukmini, we should take shelter of Rukmini. Rukmini is our worshipful deity. Instead they thought, oh, Rukmini will be for our enjoyment. So one time on a morning walk, I said thinking that there was so much maddened by lust, all those thousands of kings fell unconscious. So one time on a morning walk, I said to Gurudev, these thousands of kings saw Rukmini and become unconscious because of lust. Then imagine Radhika, because Radharani is thousands of times even more beautiful. And Gurudev laughed and said, yes, that's why no one can see Radharani if they have a narcissus. So while those kings were unconscious, Krishna came unopposed and took Rukmini, put his arm around the waist of Rukmini and took her onto his chariot and drove off. So maybe the queens of Dwarka had some pride. We captured Krishna by our own beauty, our own bhakti, our own qualities. But Krishna said, no, the only reason I married Rukmini was because she had threatened to commit suicide and because she had sent her message through one Brahman. Also, to smash the pride of those kings, I accepted her hand in marriage. Also, by seeing Rukmini, my remembrance of the gopis increased. Krishna had thought, if I marry Rukmini, I see Rukmini looks like the gopis, I will feel some peace. But Krishna said the opposite. The marriage of myself to Rukmini just increased my remembrance of the Braja gopis. Also, there were thousands of other queens. There was one demon, Narakasur. He had kidnapped 16,108 princesses, not just from Earth, but from all other planetary systems. And he was going to do something terrible to them. So Krishna rescued them also. And actually they had already been staying in the house of another man, so they were considered fallen. So when Krishna released them from prison, where will they go? Nowhere to go. Who would have them back? Therefore Krishna, even though he did not have to, he was so much kind, he agreed to marry them because they had no other shelter. Also because they had fully taken shelter of Sri Krishna's feet. So Krishna said, because all you other queens also somewhat resembled the gopis who had performed Katyayani Vrat, for that reason, I accepted you. So Krishna said, you should know that since I have come to Dwarka, I cannot feel one drop of happiness that I felt in Braj. Therefore, Chitrati Chitraye Ruchire Vihare Ananda Patode Taranga Magne Najna Asisam Ratri Dinani Tami Tatta Mahamahona Lokasam. Krishna said, in Braj I felt such happiness I could not understand whether it was day or night. I was simply immersed in the waves of pastimes of the ocean of Braj Lila. Means those most enchanting residents of Braj completely captured my mind. So Krishna said, I didn't know it was day or night. I was so absorbed in them, even Krishna performed many wonderful activities like killing huge demons. But Krishna said, I killed them neglectfully, just in playing. I subdued Kalia, I lifted Govardhan while I left all these wonderful activities I did just simply immersed in my pastimes with the Brijabasis. While immersed in the ocean of ecstasy and Braj, even though Brahma and other demigods would come and pray to me, Krishna said, I neglected them, considering their sight, even to see them to be bothersome and interfering with my pastimes. This is true when Brahmaji offered his 40 or so verses in prayers, and Krishna not even hearing. So only when Brahmaji in his prayers mentioned the Brijabasis, then Krishna little became interested in what Brahmaji was saying. Hoity Dani, etc., these type of verses. So Krishna considered like the demon, killing of the demons I performed like neglectfully. Even I found I had no time to even think of protecting the demigods or maintaining the universe. This is true in Bhagavatam. You see that actually Narada Muni and others became so much worried. Krishna so much absorbed in Braj Lila that Krishna forgot one of the main reasons he came to this world was to protect the saintly persons and destroy the demons. Therefore, Narada Muni had to come and remind Krishna for the reason, some of the reasons for his descent to this world. Because Krishna fully captivated by the happiness of Braj Lila. Now we just saw that when Krishna was in Nava Vrindavan, he manifested such a sweetness, everyone became mad. So that sweetness manifested, why? Because it reflected in the hearts of the Brijabasis. So Krishna said, what to speak of the Brijabasis? I captivated the entire creation of moving and non-moving entities at that time with my extraordinary beauty, my cowherd boy dress, and the nectarian sound of my flute. So these things only in Vrindavan. That time Brahma, Rudra, Indra, Brahma, Rudra, Indra, Chandra, the moon god, all the demigods, the siddhas and others, as well as cows, bulls, calves, deer, trees, birds, grass, shrubs, creepers, rivers, clouds, moving and unmoving, conscious and unconscious entities. The entire universe filled with prem. And everyone began acting opposite to their nature. You know, like our materialistic nature, we have one identity, I am in this world. But just Krishna's pastimes are so powerful. Just by hearing Krishna's pastimes, are performing these 5 limbs of devotees, of devotion, like sadhu sang, associating with the devotees, Nam Kirtan, chanting the holy name, Bhagavat Shravana, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, Mathura Vas, residing in Mathura, or Sri Bhagavad Murti Sevana, serving the deity by performing these 5 limbs of devotion, or the 9 limbs of devotion, hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, becoming friend, becoming servant, offering everything to Krishna. So just by some contacting with Krishna, Krishna's devotee, we also acting now in an opposite way to our nature. It means before we had one material identity. I am a man, I'm a woman, I'm this and that. But by just contact with Krishna Lila, then the opposite nature means the nature of Krishna's servant manifest. So Krishna's pastime is so powerful for the conditioned souls that they hear. Guru Maharaj would say Krishna has put all his mercy in his pastimes. So hear the pastimes, one connects the mercy with the mercy of Krishna. So Krishna said, and even the perfected soul, even they heard, they also become an opposite nature. Another meaning is, for example, cows always eating. You never see a cow not eating. Either they're moving and eating or they're sitting in one place and chewing the cud. But when they hear the sound of Krishna's flute, they become stunned. They forget to chew grass. The grass falls from their mouth. The calves forget to drink milk. The milk just remains caught in their throat. Birds which are very restless and always singing become stunned and immobile. And hard unconscious things like Giriraj begin move and begin melting and moving here and there. Oh, did he force you to come to class? But you're saying Krishna's pastimes, the nature of Krishna's all name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Everyone takes up an opposite nature. It means the conditioned souls, those who are forgetful of Krishna, remember Krishna. And those who are perfect, they also become opposite. That is inconceivable, achintya. Means Krishna, the gopis also the crest jewel of high class and chaste women. The gopis so much high class. But they hear Krishna's flute, everything, they also, that nature also they lose. They become an opposite nature. Therefore Krishna's pastime is so powerful. Krishna himself explaining all these things. And all these things manifest why Krishna says to the queens of Dwarka, only because of Vrindavan. No other reason. Even us know when we come to Vrindavan, then we find some taste and happiness in chanting and remembering and hearing and serving. Because nature of this place, Vrindavan is so much powerful. So Krishna, like so much anger at Satyabhama, Krishna himself revealing the glories of Braj. Many places Krishna revealed the glories of Braj through devotees like Uddhav or Lord Brahma or 10th canto. You see many different prayers like Indra also offering prayers, Brahma offering prayers, Kalia offering prayers even. Who else? Many places we see some people offering prayers. Gopis also in an ecstasy speaking Brahma Gita, Venu Gita, all these things. No? But Krishna himself speaking, Guru Maharaj says sometimes Krishna prefers to reveal the glories of Vrindavan through devotees like Uddhav or Brahma, because everyone considers them like authorities. Brahma is the source of the 4 Vedas, so in one sense, like Guru of the 4 Vedas or the first disciple of the 4 Vedas. So Brahma, he is the Adi Guru. So when Brahma glorified Vrindavan, for example, then the whole world will listen. Or Uddhav, when he glorified the gopis, Uddhav is topmost brahmachari, the disciple of Brihaspati. So if someone like Uddhav glorified the gopis, then the whole world will listen, the whole world pay attention. But Guru Maharaj says sometimes if Krishna revealed the glories of the gopis, then someone may think, oh yes, Krishna, he loved the gopis, therefore he speak like that. You know, like in material life, every man thinks my wife is the greatest or the best looking or the best cook. But actually that is not fact, but out of affection they speak. Wife may be very ugly, all bad qualities, but out of affection he thinks her to be like that. So if Krishna speaks the glories of the gopis, maybe some people think like that. Krishna out of partiality is speaking. So rarely Krishna speak that. Mostly he keep it confidential. But here, because of Satyabhama's activities, then Krishna speaking like this. So Krishna said, just ask Kalindi. Kalindi and Rukmini, two devotees who also saw all Braj, Kalindi and Rohini, sorry. These devotees saw all Braj Lila. So Krishna said, ask Kalindi whether this is true or not. Because Kalindi saw all Braj Lila. She saw my spontaneous pastimes with the Brajabasis. She has seen everything directly. Actually, Kalindi is like one portion of Yamuna. She has seen all this. You can ask her. So Krishna said, despite this, I cannot feel any happiness here in Dwarka. Despite it being surrounded by my relatives, the Yadavs, who are also my devotees and relatives. So, O Satyabhama, you became so much full of pride, hearing the glories of the gopis. Then Krishna speaks little indirectly. So Sanatana Goswami has described. O Satyabhama, you become so full of pride that it became difficult for me to break your jealous anger. So at this time and place, I gave up my flute also. Means, actually Krishna speaking something, but this is like sarcastic. Means to break the pride of foolish girls like you is not very difficult. Therefore, I do not even need my flute here in Dwarka. That is the meaning. But another meaning, here I play my flute for whom? Actually, for someone to play the flute, this is like a low-class activity, right? In Vedic culture, who play flute and music and instruments, this like low-class persons. Like any king or anything that time, they come like beggars, like they're called, like music, people who play instruments, singers. They come and they sing something. They get the king or the rich person gives some donation. So it's considered a very low activity. So Krishna thought, who I play my flute for in Dwarka? I cannot because I am here so much respectful position. So here I cannot play my flute. And here I don't need, only I play my flute to break the pride of the gopis, but to break the flute of insignificant people like Satyabhama, I do not need my flute. Therefore Krishna said, this Dwarka just give me distress. Therefore what to speak of acting out the activities of Braj here in Dwarka, I cannot even properly describe them. That is fact. One time Trivikram Maharaj said, no, when Sukadev Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam, that time many, many different type of listeners were there. Some were followers of karma, some were Gyan Nishta, some had faith in Gyan, some had faith in yoga process like this, some had faith in just like enjoyment, material enjoyment. Some were faith in like smarta, karmakand. So when Sukadev Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam, many, many different type of persons were there. Actually, Bhagavatam was not spoken for them. Bhagavatam was spoken for very few devotees like Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami spoke for very few persons like Parikshit Maharaj. Maybe one, two people in the back like Sutta Goswami, Ugra Srava. So actually, topics of Braj is not for everyone. So when Sukadev Goswami, his eyes closed, he was describing Braj Lila. That time his eyes were closed, he could not see the audience. But Parikshit Maharaj, he was looking at the audience. Then many he saw, many were like this. Because they were thinking, Krishna came here to establish religion. Why Krishna is performing the sinful activity of touching the wives of other men? So Parikshit Maharaj, not for himself, but for the others, the unqualified persons, he spoke that. Oh Gurudev, Krishna came to establish religion. Why is he performing this activity? So when Sukadev Goswami heard that question, his absorption became broken. He became angry. Oh king, I already told you, Kama Dveshat Boyas Snehat Yata Bhakta Sri Manaha. I told you already, if one can attain Krishna by envy, like Shishupal, fear, like Kamsa, Kama, lust, then Kama Dveshat. calm. Envied Shishupal, then calm like Kubja. Then why the gopis could not attain Krishna? Why not? What's the problem? So speaking like that, he stopped speaking Braj Lila, Ras Lila, and he began speaking pastimes of Dwarka. So Srila Chirika would say that is proof Harikatha is only amongst the Vaisnavas. Harikatha is only amongst the Vaisnavas. Even Gurudev would say, since I went to America, I cannot speak Braj Lila anymore. Why? Because Braj Lila, who you speak to? Only someone who have that mood. In America and all these places, people only have one mood, enjoyment. Therefore, there is a big difference between those who hear Harikatha in the stage of aversion to Krishna and those who hear in a stage of Sevanmukh. Big difference between the audience. Some people hearing Katha, but they are forced to hear, but actually have no taste, no shraddha, so they are forced to hear, or out of sense of duty, sattvagun. I should hear Katha, this is good for me. There's a big difference between that type of hearer and those who hear with a complete mood of Sevanmukh. Sevanmukh hi jivato swayameva spurita. Therefore, Rupa Goswami said, Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes not manifested on the material senses, but they're manifested in the heart of that person who have mood of seva. Which mood of seva? Seva in the mood of the Brijavasis. Then Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes manifest according to them. So for that reason, Krishna said, I cannot, what to speak of doing those pastimes of Braj here in Dwarka, I cannot even speak them because no proper person to hear. It's a very deep lesson there. So Krishna said, out of everyone here, outside of Braj, only Sukadeva Goswami is dear to me. Why? Because he has prem just like them. And I cannot speak these things in Dwarka or anywhere else. But after Sukadeva Goswami, he will speak these pastimes. Right? Bhagavatam manifested after Krishna finished his Leela. That is one of the 6 questions of the sages of Namasedanya. Oh, they asked, oh, Ugashava, Sutta Goswami, please tell us, now Krishna has gone back to his abode. Where can we find religious principles? That is one of the 6 questions of the sages of Namasedanya. So in answer to that, Sutta Goswami spoke, Krishna Swadhamma Pakate Jnana Dharma Divisaha. When Krishna left for Goloka Vrindavan, all knowledge, all dharma, religiosity went with him. Therefore, Krishna now manifests only in one place, that is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So after Krishna left, Krishna now here saying, my pastimes in Braj will be broadcast not by me, but by Sukadeva Goswami. And he shall narrate a little of those pastimes. Don't think Bhagavatam is all pastimes. Bhagavatam just one drop. So after me, then he will narrate those same pastimes. To who? To Parikshit Maharaj, who is just as worshipful as Sukadeva Goswami because he also has so much taste in hearing. So actually this book is called Brhad Bhagavatamrita. So Krishna is saying that first will manifest the Bhagavatam, then afterwards Parikshit Maharaj will taste this Bhagavatam and manifest it in a new way. That will be the Brhad Bhagavatam. And actually the Goswamis and the followers of Mahaprabhu, they manifest the Bhagavatam in many, many ways, like Ananda Vrindavan Champu, this Brhad Bhagavatamrita, Jiva Goswami manifested Gopal Champu, Sanatana Goswami, this Brhad Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami, Vedanta Madhav, Lalita Madhav. Prema, try and listen. No? Prema's brain in 1,000 different places. So these 6 Goswamis, they manifested the Srimad Bhagavatam in many, many different ways. So Parikshit Maharaj also one cause. That time, now here's very nice, you can understand how intelligent is Uddhav. Seeing Krishna's mood, now Krishna like fully absorbed again in Braj Leela. Then what happened? Maybe Krishna will again like come into mood of separation. Maybe he'll go to Vrindavan, who knows what will happen. So while Krishna was fully absorbed in speaking Braj Leela, the glories of the gopis, the glories of the pastimes of Vrindavan, and realizing even Krishna said, even I cannot taste this outside of Braj, I cannot even describe it. Then if Krishna is in such a mood, what Krishna will do, where he will go? That time Uddhav, he sent the queens of Dwarka. They should stop him from speaking such things like that. That time Uddhav indicated to all the queens like Satyabhama and Rukmini, all came surrounding the feet of Krishna and crying and begging, offering his prayers and trying to pacify him. Actually, if you're going to pacify someone, Man, normally Krishna does that to the Braja Gopis, but in Vrindavan, Man is, outside of Vrindavan, Man is very weak. Therefore, all those queens came down to break Krishna's mind, Krishna's mood. That time also, Uddhav indicated to Rohini and others and Devaki Mata to also that time bring many different types of food and drink. So, Baladev, who had just taken bath, Uddhav also, so that time Uddhav also requested Baladev to come and announce that Narada Muni had arrived. In this way, Uddhav distracted the mind of Krishna away from topics of Vrindavan. By one side, all the queens of like Satyabhama praying and weeping at the feet of Krishna. Also this side by food and drink, because Krishna had not taken breakfast yet. And also that Balaram should announce that Narada Muni had came. In this way, they distracted Krishna from remembrance of Vrindavan. Otherwise, who knows what would happen. That time, Narad, when Krishna saw that Narad had come, he smiled. Oh, why Narad has not come like he did before? Who is stopping him? That time Uddhav smiled and said, oh, Narad feels some shame and fear, therefore his own shame and fear has stopped him coming near you. That time Krishna, who is Brahmanya Dev, very dear to the Brahmanas, he stood up and he invited Narad into the house. Then Krishna spoke. Oh, Narad, you are always trying to please me. Therefore, this time you have greatly pleased me. Why? You have given me remembrance of Vrindavan. Krishna said, even though in the beginning separation is like a fire, and unlimited unhappiness arises from separation. But when there's meeting again, that meeting gives such a bliss, such a happiness. So Narad, you have enabled me to remember the Brijbasis, and also enabled me to go there to Nava Vrindavan. Therefore, you give me such a happiness. So after separation, the mind becomes peaceful and calm and blissful, as if one has achieved the happiness of meeting. So I'm very happy you have given me that feeling of, again, I have met the Brijbasis. Therefore, I want to give you a benediction. Because somehow remembering one's beloved is like giving life itself. Therefore, Narad, you have given me life because you gave me a chance to remember the Brijbasis. So again, Krishna says, although it is impossible to forget one's beloved, still if somehow distinct remembrance comes, that it gives happiness like life itself. Therefore, we have these festivals, like the appearance of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the appearance, disappearance of Gurudev, Krishna's appearance, Mahaprabhu's appearance, Nityananda's appearance, Sringadev's appearance. Why does it give a happiness of remembrance? So these festival days are very important. So Krishna said, O Guru of the demigods, you have given me such a blessing. I could remember the Brijbasis and Vrindavan. I am very pleased with you. Therefore, you may ask for any benediction. So Krishna began to shout, Jai, Jai. He began to shout Krishna's names. He played his veena and did some kirtan, especially some pastimes of Vrindavan. Yasomati Nandana Brajabadana Gada Gokula Ranjana. Some kirtan he did. Then this Narad Muni, after having traveled from Prayag to South India, to the heavenly planets, to the planet of Brahma, to the planet of Shiva, back to the material world where Prahlad resides, then to another place where Hanuman resides, then again on the earth planet to Hastinapur and to Dwarka. So that best of the sadhus who had traveled from Dasvamedvikat all over the universe and all over the earth planet. When he heard that Krishna wanted to give him a benediction, he became very blissful. Okay. So first, Narad Muni prayed for his first benediction. And Krishna gives the best of benediction. Param deva moksham na moksham padimva. Krishna can give what no one else can give. But we are very foolish. What we would ask for something stupid. Therefore, Krishna not offering us any benediction. But the devotee is like the swan. They know how to take the cream from the water. They know how to get the best thing from Krishna. So, Narad Muni's first benediction. I am asking the benediction that no one may ever be satisfied by your mercy, by performing your devotion, and by prema. Means no matter how much they do, they won't be satisfied. They always want more and more. That is my first benediction. We are not like that. We chant 16 rounds and think, oh my God, I did so much. But high-class devotee, they chant day and night, but still think I did nothing. I did no seva. Actually, one time Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj said, someone who thinks I did seva, there was no one more sinful than them. Who thinks I did a lot of service. That there was no one more sinful than such a person who has that thought. So Narad Muni said, I want the benediction no matter how much they get the mercy of Krishna, no matter how much they do bhakti and no matter how much prem they taste, they will not be satisfied. I want that benediction. But they always want more and more. When Krishna heard that, Krishna laughed. Oh Narad, you are a very cunning fellow. What type of benediction have you asked for? Already this is the nature of my mercy, my bhakti and my prema. Right? We never heard anyone say, oh Krishna, I got enough mercy, that's enough. Actually, only devotees of Radhika can say that. Oh Krishna, you keep your mercy for yourself, we want the mercy of Radhika. But no one ever said, I got enough mercy. Otherwise, why, for example, why devotees pray for Gurudev's mercy every morning? Oh, I got enough mercy from Gurudev, now I don't need any more. No, it's not like that. No matter how much mercy we get, the devotee always wants more mercy. No matter how much Shravan Kirtan devotee performs, he always wants to do more. In Prema Bhakti, what to speak of that? So Krishna, he is the Antarjami, the super soul. He knows everywhere where Narad went, where he went, who he met. So Krishna says, oh, best of sadhus, best of sages, all the devotees you saw and heard for while going from Prayag to here. Remember the history? Krishna, Narad Muni went Prayag, South India, heavenly planets, planet of Brahma. Then again he came, planet of Shiva. Then again he met with Prahlad, he met with Hanuman, he met with the Pandavas, met with the Dwarkabasis, the Yadavas. So Krishna said, all those devotees that you met, going from Prayag to here, all are the recipients of my mercy. And all of them can deliver the entire world. One Vaishnava can deliver the entire universe. Brahmanda Tarite Shakti Dare Janajan. One Vaishnava can deliver the whole universe. But why the whole universe is not delivered? Krishna Praditi says the whole universe can be delivered, but the problem is the whole universe is not listening. Who is listening to the Vaishnava instruction? Externally, we're doing so many things, but actually we follow them. How do we know them internally? Only if we hear their katha. Therefore, Guru Maharaj would say, Gurudev cheats those who have no interest in Harikatha by absorbing them in materialistic topics. That is how Gurudev cheats the non-devotees. How's your dog? How's this? How's the paint? How's this going? This way Gurudev cheats non-devotees. We should always be very careful that we don't allow Guru Vaishnava to cheat us by always requesting them to speak to us topics of Hari. Always topics of Hari. One time in Gurudev last festival in Italy, 2-3 hours he met with everyone, like 1,000 devotees. 2-3 hours, maybe more, he's sitting there listening. After they all left, Gurudev said to me, not even one person asked me about bhajan. Not even one person. How was my bhajan? How do I increase my bhajan? I mean, everyone going away thinking, I met Gurudev, I associate with Mahabhagavad, but did they really? Question comes. So don't waste our time. We have such a chance of such high class of persons and what type of question and answering we are doing, what we are talking to them about. We are wasting our time deeply. When they leave, then who will know? When they leave, no one to blame except ourselves. I wasted my chance. Saraswati Thakur said, many people have the feeling, I associate with Gurudev, I got his mercy, but actually no. Like he said, many people thought I associated with Gokashodas Babaji Maharaj, but he said, no, none of them did. None of them could associate with him. Anyway, so who is listening? Who is associated? That is the question. So Krishna said, all those devotees all got my mercy. All are capable of delivering the three worlds. Still, there are degrees, gradations of perfection amongst them. All are perfect. No, Guru Maharaj would use the language, complete, more complete, most complete. Krishna in Dwarka, complete. Krishna in Mathura, more complete. Krishna in Braj, most complete. Gurudev would use that language. Still, Krishna said, all of those devotees you met, none of them is satiated by my bhakti. Means none of them I did enough. Only we think that, right? I did enough. But they do not think. Therefore, you should ask some other benediction. Krishna knew everything what Narada Muni did, where he went. So Narada Muni became blissful. And he was thinking of what will my second benediction be? So he asked for 2 benedictions more. O Bhagavan, you are never satisfied. Despite giving yourself to others, Krishna thinks I could not give enough. That is nature of Krishna. For example, that's why Krishna gave so much wealth to Sudama. Krishna felt ashamed. Sudama gave so much to me. What can I give in return? So Krishna not gave anything to Sudama face to face because he felt ashamed. So Krishna is that. Krishna fully give himself to the devotee, but Krishna think I could not give enough. That is nature of Krishna. Guru Maharaj would say, even in Raslila, when Krishna prayed to the gopis, "O gopis, I cannot repay you. Na pareham nedaviju sabidam swasadyu kriti bibin ayusi vipa mam bhajan nurigara geha srinkala samprichastyat pratyatu sadhunam." When Krishna said these words, gopis, I cannot repay you for your pure seva. Even if I had a lifetime as long as Brahma, still I would be indebted to you. Therefore, please just be satisfied by your own saintly qualities. When Krishna spoke that, then Krishna said, Krishna fully captured the gopis by those words. When gopis heard Krishna so much humble, then gopis' heart fully melted. When Krishna sang like that, so by those words, Krishna fully captured the gopis. So Krishna thinks no matter how much he gives the devotee, he could not give enough. Therefore, Krishna always indebted to the devotee. And devotee also feel that no matter how much they give Krishna surrender, they think I cannot repay Krishna's kindness, Gurudev's kindness. This is the nature of devotion. So Krishna said, Narada said, all my hard work has been successful. because I can now appreciate all these devotees who are the recipients of your mercy. There were actually, sometimes we see many disciples of Gurudev all got some different mercy. Some, not one person could hear all the katha of Gurudev, not one person could hear everything, because not always with Gurudev. They were very important to associate with Vaishnava, because every Vaishnava had something that you missed. All got mercy. Therefore, everything I did is a great benediction for me. That I could meet all Narada Muni explaining all these Vaishnavas I met, that is your mercy. Still, I have one desire, a long time I kept in my heart. O Krishna, O Rajhamsa, who's always like a swan, who swim in the lake of the heart of the Vrajavasis, give me benediction I may wander everywhere, making the whole world happy, always blissfully drinking the nectar of your sweeter than sweet names, especially those names which come from Gokul, and which manifest from your indescribably divine pastimes in the form of a cowherd boy. This is my first benediction. Means may I always speak Braj, Lila, especially those names, forms, qualities, and pastimes in relation to Braj. That is top pastime. Actually, in Jaivadama, Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a difference between hearing the Naimitic Lila of Krishna and by hearing the Nitya Lila of Krishna, the Astakaliya Lila of Krishna. These two types of hearing is there. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says actually that is Kram Asuda. Hearing Naimitic is not so much important as hearing the Nitya Lila, the Astakaliya Lila. Kram Suda. So may I always speak your Braj Lila. And second benediction. And Guru Maharaj would always say this. Why we're doing Vrindavan Parikram? Because of this benediction Krishna gave to Narada, or that Narada asked from Krishna. May any person who faithfully describes your Braj Lila by their mouth, who hears them by ear, who thinks of them in the heart, or who touches your pastimes or pastime places by any limb, like walking, sometimes we do dandavats, pastime places of Krishna. May that person attain eternal devotional service to your lotus feet. Which lotus feet? Now it says, which are decorated from the kumkum from the bodies of the gopis. Why Krishna's lotus feet have so much power? Because some contact with the gopis. Guru Maharaj would say that. Therefore Guru Maharaj would say, why we're calling everyone to Vrindavan? Because of this benediction that Narada requested from Krishna. Therefore in Kartik especially, we get a chance to be in Kartik. Like he was sitting in Sevakunj, what pastimes Krishna performed here. So many pastimes described in Bhagavatam. We go to Yamuna, there's also many pastimes Krishna performed. Nok Bihar, another Lila. Keshigat, there is Bamsivat just here. Many, many places just here Krishna performed Lila. So if you touch those places, and especially those places here Katha, then that person will definitely achieve pure devotion, Prema Bhakti. That is my benediction. So Gopinath stretched his hand to give benediction and said, so be it. Narada Muni not ask anything for himself. So much generous. Now if that was asked, oh Krishna, give me this, give me that. But Narada Muni not asking. He asking also for benefit of the whole world. So Narada Muni got there, he became ecstatic. He began singing and dancing. Afterwards, Narada, Krishna Balaram, along with Krishna Balaram, Narada Muni took lunch. How much is lucky? Many types of sweets and drinks and rice given, cooked by Devaki and of course Rukmini and others. Along with Krishna Balaram, he honored Prasad. Then Rukmini gave all the preparations after showing them to Devaki and Rohini, because Rohini also, sorry. Rukmini under guidance, little bit of Rukmini also. Rukmini under guidance of Rohini and Devaki, because like this preparation I cook, this preparation I cook. So showing the preparation first to them before giving. So would have remembered every preparation that had cooked, that had been offered to Krishna, and Balaram, and would have. That time Satyabhama was fanning the three. Jambavati and also were doing others, timely services. Do you want more pakoras? Would you like more dal? Timely services they were doing. Uddhav could remember all the foodstuffs offered, imagine. So also those foodstuffs were very hot, so Satyabhama was fanning the foodstuffs, make them a little cool for eating. So Jambavati and other devotees were doing seva like offering cooling water. Some offerings just praising the prasad. Some by fanning Krishna, Balaram, and Narada. Some by burning some incense, making some nice fragrance. Afterwards, because when you eat, then body becomes hot, so afterwards, Krishna with his own hand put some sandalwood paste on the forehead and bodily limbs of Narada. Krishna washed his mouth, some archaman. Then Krishna worshipped Narada by giving him very different types of ornaments and a garland. Then Narada was very eager to speak this katha to the other sages. So he got permission from Madhav and went away blissfully, singing the glories of bhakti he had experienced in different places. All those sages, hearing the glories of Bhakti Devi, those sages gave up their previous practices of karma, etc., and also became inspired in devotional service by hearing from Narada. So, we'll finish here. I just want to conclude with the words of Parikshit Maharaj, just 2-3 verses here. What Parikshit Maharaj spoke to his mother, Uttara Devi, because after Sukadeva Goswami spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj had a few hours before he was cursed to die. So hear carefully these very nice instructions of Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj is Dasyaras, but he little touching moon of gopis also. This is called Unat Garab Dasya. This is explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma. O mother, you should do bhajan daily of Gopikishore, the youthful coward boy who is always enchanted by the prem of the gopis. Guru Maharaj said, when we remember Krishna, which Krishna remember? Radhakanta, Gopijana Vallabh. Which Krishna remember? That Krishna was always captured by the affection of Srimati Radhika. Of course, those in other moods will meditate. Krishna always controlled by the affection of Mother Yasoda, Krishna controlled by Subal. According to their ruchi, taste, devotees will meditate. So it could be his mother has some mood of gopis, so Parikshit Maharaj speaking like that. So mother, you should do everyday bhajan of Gopikishore, Krishna, who is enchanted by the prem of the gopis, who is the ocean of nectar of Ras Leela, who is always surrounded by the gopis. You should always engage in Nam Sankirtan while desiring the seva of the gopis. Just as bees cannot lift Mount Sumeru, I cannot even speak the glories of even one of Krishna's gopis. My Gurudev is deeply absorbed in the mellows of constantly chanting and singing Krishna's names. But even he is unable to properly mention the names of the gopis. No, Sukadeva Goswami not said the name of Radhika. He not said even the name of Lalita, Vishaka or others. Even though he's so high, still he is unable to fully utter the name of the Braja Gopis. Why? The reason is the gopis are like a smoldering, blazing fire of prema. And in remembering the glorifying and remembering the gopis, a special remembrance come. The heart of my Gurudev will become agitated by that. And that blazing fire remembers of the gopis means he cannot speak their names. Sanatana Goswami gives big commentary. You may care to read it at your leisure. Oh mother, if you do bhajan of Gopinath, remembering his pastimes such as Ras Lila, then by his mercy you will also understand some of the glories of the gopis also. Last verse. Whoever faithfully hears chants or somehow or other nicely accepts shelter of this supremely divine narration shall also quickly attain that same prema towards Sri Krishna. Who hears this Brhad Bhagavatam, who chants it, or accepts shelter of this scripture, also gets love of Krishna. Okay, so we're finished now. Someone said, but I recorded 40 classes of Brhad Bhagavatamrita. Someone said we gave these 40 classes. Anyway, it could be. Anyway, so we asked devotees what they wanted. Most devotees wanted to hear Jaivadharma, because that is so much like the Bible of Gaudiya Siddhanta. You want to know what to do and where to go, what to do, then you have to study Jaivadharma. So day after tomorrow we'll start Jaivadharma. It's not possible, we'll try and do a chapter every 2 days. That means we'll finish by Kartik. Anyway, we'll try it. Because Jaivadharma like an ocean. Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Go Premanandi. Now I feel guilty about